Hi, hello, it's me, Ethan, and I certainly am glad to hear from you again. I'm back after a little bit of time off. I'm sorry, I've just been working on some new music, but I'm back now, and today I want to talk to you about a kind of obscure, unknown composer, but he is a very interesting man. His name is Witold Lutoslawski. Yes, he is a very interesting man. He's a Polish man. And you know what, let's just get into it. So, Lutoslawski was born on January 25th, 1913 in Drozdowo, Poland. He enjoyed the fields, the mountains, and rivers, and as a child, he loved where he lived. But when he was only a year old, his family had to flee to Russia behind the Eastern Front, and they had to live in Moscow for 4 years. But in 1917 and 1918, the Russian revolutions broke out, and the Bolsheviks basically shot and killed Lutoslawski's father in the uprising that took over Russia. And Russia became the USSR. In 1919, because of the whole USSR uprising, the Lutoslawskis moved back to Poland, but the damage was done and his home was destroyed. And Witold lived there for 5 years. Then his mother sent him away in 1924 to go to school in Warsaw. After moving to Warsaw, he took piano lessons. And by the time he was a teenager, he knew that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to be a composer. In 1932, he attended Warsaw University and studied music. And he studied there for the next 6 years and got a master's degree in music in 1938. And in 1939, shortly after earning his music degree, he wanted to be a touring composer, and he wanted to go to Paris. But in September of 1939, the Nazis invaded Poland, and Lutoslawski became Lieutenant Lutoslawski in the Polish army, and he was stationed in Krakow, Poland, as a commanding officer of a radio station. But he only had that job for a month until Poland had to surrender on both sides. That poor country was invaded by the Soviet Union and the Nazis, and Lutoslawski was taken prisoner in 1940, and they marched him all the way to a prisoners of war camp in Warsaw, but he was actually able to run away because, well, a lot of the times, if they were marching you to a camp, and if they were, actually marching you out in the open, a lot of the times they didn't really care if you ran away. It was mostly just, running to the camp. Although the Japanese, they made you march. Actually, walk to the camp. And if you fell out of line, they just shot you. They didn't care. But, essentially, Lutoslawski just ran away. And from 1940 to 1945, he spent 5 years under the Nazi regime, and the Jewish were segregated, and the Polish culture was basically just replaced by German culture. And the only thing that kept them stable was performing in cafes with his friend. But in January of 1945, Poland was liberated and then taken over by the communists. So, to quote Megamind, I wouldn't really call it freed. I would call it more under new management. And it was under new management by Joseph Stalin. But in 1946 and 1947, he started writing his own music, and he mostly just he wrote music for schools, basically being an old-fashioned Randy Stanley, which Randy Stanley is a composer who writes music for school bands. And if you want me to do an episode on him, okay, I'll do an episode on him. And in 1948, he wrote his first symphony, which is a very, very intense piece, not for the faint of heart, but I'm going to play it for you. And he did not enjoy living under communist rule because, well, the communists, they basically censored what he could and couldn't say. So I'm going to play it for you. Lutoslawski's Symphony. Alright, here we go. I'm about to play it for you. What the hell? Oh, sorry. I'll play that more for you. Oh, sorry. Looks like it just crapped out there. But from what you guys heard, that was pretty intense, right? Yeah, that was cool, wasn't it? Anyway, Lutoslawski, he often used folk music, although he never mentioned what songs he used, because, of course, he didn't. He could have made my life a lot easier, but no, he didn't. He didn't. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. He also wrote some concertos, and I'll play one for you right now. His cello concerto. I'll play it for you. Variations on a theme by Paganini, and it was written by Lutoslawski. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, it was hard for me to turn that off. That was awesome. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And another piece I want to show you is it's called Dance Preludes. And Lutoslawski, he wrote this for a whole symphony, but he eventually shortened it just for clarinet. And I'm going to play you Movement 2, which was called Andantino. And this was played by... it was played by me! I can't wait to show it to you. And yeah, that was piano/clarinet concerto that he wrote. And yeah, that was pretty cool, wasn't it? Yeah, that was probably the hardest piece I've ever played. And yeah, Lutoslawski, he was a weird guy. But hey, I'd be pretty weird too if I had to live under Nazi regime and then live under communist regime. So, okay. But in 1993, Lutoslawski was an old man of 80, and he was diagnosed with liver cancer. But by then, the Soviet Union had fell, and he could leave his country. And remember when I said he always wanted to do a world tour? Well, he finally did, at age 80. So, hey guys, it's never too late to follow your dreams. Well, sometimes it is, but you know what? The point is, it's never too late, you know? Never too late to follow your dreams. He performed in a lot of other countries. He performed in Finland, Canada, England, and Japan. So never give up, guys. And his final concert was later that year in Los Angeles. He composed his final work, which is a violin concerto, in January of 1994. In February, he went in for surgery in Warsaw, Poland. And he was weakened from the surgery and died of cancer and surgery complications on February 7th, 1994, and he died at 81 years old. And to this day, he is considered one of Poland's greatest composers. And I love his music. His music is just not something you hear every day. And yeah, he's just a really great guy, and he's a bit of an inspiration to me, and I really hope you liked his music, and please look into more of his music, and I certainly had fun talking to you guys today, and listening with you. Alright, see you next time.